Hey everybody. Yeah, I don't know what happened tonight. Crazy. Whoa, I gotta turn that off. Shh. Okay. Hi Johnny. Thanks for the reminder. Hello Missy. Thanks for hanging out. Hi Vab. How are you doing? Um, Huge brain fart. I when I was planning my day. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up since I'm already like behind. When I'm planning my day, I did a lot of Lego stuff today, a lot of sorting. I got this whole list done. This is a list. This is my parts list. You can really kind of tell how many parts that is. This is all the parts for the remaining. First of all, sound and everything okay? Look good, sound good? Okay. Um I was working on this all day. This is the remaining I don't want to change anything. Remaining list for all the parts for all the Horizon Zero Dawn machines. So I went through my want list of all the remaining machines and pulled out what I have. And now I'm sorting my giant haven't sorted in 2 years pile to see if I've got anything that can add to this so I can take it off this list. And whatever's left, then I buy. And right now it's about 250 bucks worth of parts. So I'm really hoping that I could cut some of that down. I'm going to go to couple bricks and minifigs places and I think source some parts off of some MOCs and models and stuff that I think I have around here so I don't have to spend as much. That's what I did all day. I got seed parts for our meeting from one of our guys who does the seed parts. I started breaking down some sets to sell, like big Lego day, right? And the whole time I'm thinking today and also streaming at 8 o'clock. So I made dinner. I wasn't feeling really well, but I made dinner. Watched an episode of Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was over, so I flipped over to the hockey game, which started at 6. And I'm like, yeah, I got my evening set and just rolled with it. Just watched the hockey game. Didn't even think about it. Don't know why. I think it was because it's short week and it feels like a Wednesday. Maybe that's it. Anyway, so yeah, so that all that work that I thought we'd be doing tonight, I thought I'd be doing tonight, is not to be had. So I will probably work on this a little bit and then finish it on my own time just to have it all done. Because there's lots of stuff like underneath here that needs to be shorn up and stuff. So um anyway, um I had a bit of a scare Lego wise today in that let me get this guy pulled up. I was going through my giant parts list and I was like, all right, I need a 1x3 tile. So I go over to where nobody here really knows. I think probably Missy would be the only one who would be in the neighborhood of knowing, because she's the only one who's close by. But anybody else who's been to my house, knows what kind of storage thing I have going on. I have done a video about it, and it's mostly shelves. It's got some Arco bins. It's a big, like, those China hutches that you can get. They're like wardrobes for your dishes. Or I don't know, it could be something else. But anyway, it's a big thing with glass doors. And inside it are like Tupperware dishes and Ziploc bags and those Arco open top bins. And yeah. So I got those. I've got the Sterilite drawers. I've got medical records or medical equipment drawers that are like this thin that have like, you can get gauze out of them or petri dish slides or microscope slides or, band-aids or little forceps or whatever, right? A girl that our friend works at a medical records place, and they have some of these things in the nursing station. So she gave me one. It works really well, and they're covered too, so they don't get dust. So anyway, I was going for some tiles, and I know exactly they're like sort of loose, and then I've got really big Sterilite drawers, and so they're loosely organized into like tiles are mostly in this area, plates are mostly over here, snot bricks are, you know, they've each got kind of their area. Some of them have been moved around because they need a bigger space or a smaller space, and I don't really know what the tail looks like. It's sort of this. I think we're going to try to do a side thing. So I go over there to get my 1x3 tiles, and I know exactly where they are. So I go over there and I open the drawer, and it's a insert plastic tray with a bunch of different tile organizations. Some 2x4s, some 1x6s and 1x8s, black and white and gray, colored, some different colors, like for whatever reason I have like white and tan and sand green in one location. I don't know why. I think because I had a lot of those, so they occupy a big thing. And I can't find my tiles, and I was like, well, this is really weird. So I was like, maybe that little baggie that they were in, maybe I moved them. So I checked in another location, and then I checked in another location, and I couldn't find them. So I was getting a little bent out of shape, and I was like, well, maybe they fell behind the thing here. So I checked behind the thing, and then my ADD kicks in, and I'm end up cleaning and picking up stuff that's fallen behind this thing, and then reorganizing something else, and just I was like, what am I even doing with all this? Can't tell what this color. I guess that's more white or tan. I think it's probably just white, just like the rest of this. Let's just say it's white. Can I do white? So I can't find it, and I'm all freaked out. And instead of just moving on, like a person would, I get really bent out of shape. Because I looked for like almost an hour for these things. I just kept going through different drawers and different places. I'm like, maybe I put it with this group of things. Maybe I put it with this group of things. Could not find them. And I was like, so I started going through all the other stuff in the Lego room. Maybe I put them, I think that's longer than I want it to be. So let's shorten that up. So it's like, maybe they got put in with this group of stuff for the lug, or maybe I accidentally put them with this stuff for the stadium, or maybe with all these other, like, I couldn't figure out where I would have accidentally put them. You're like, I know, I put it here. I just don't. Well, okay. So this is yesterday's Ben trying to be very nice to today's Ben. And it turned out, so after, like, I looked and I looked and I looked, and I got really upset, and so I gave up, and was like, well, I'm gonna go watch TV, or I'm gonna go sort the stuff that's in the living room right now, and I'm just gonna get my mind off it, because I'm really kind of bent out of shape about this whole thing. And so this needs to be in line with the shoulders. It needs to be a little lower. Okay. It needs to be right there. I don't want it on a bracket. But so yeah, so then I came back. I was like, all right, tell you what, even if I can't find, and it was the bag of 1x3 tiles, it didn't have that many in them. It probably had 25, 30 tiles in it. Not a ton, right? 1x3 tiles aren't super common, and most of them I have are in use, either on a set that I just got, or they're on a MOC somewhere. They're very good pieces. So I was like, oh, I don't know. And, you know, I'm rationalizing, and I'm like, maybe I used it all, right? Hi, Gloopy Gale. So I'm going off of. I saw your comment. I think you'd commented on the Stormbird too. So this is my scale here. Here's my. I'm getting rid of this. This is my. Something is holding this down. Oh, it's the grouping. Okay. So this is my Aloy. And to scale, this is, I'll raise this up a bit. So this is my, this is the, what's it called? Thunderjaw. This is how big the Thunderjaw is. This is the next biggest one, which is the, Trampler? No, Behemoth. And then this is this guy, right? So this is the scale that I was kind of going off of. It needs to be a little lined up a little better. Let's look at the top view. Where's my top view? Okay. I think this is lined up right. Yeah, that's good. So 5. So it needs to be right about here. So that's where it's going to be. So I got to shorten that up. But yeah, so it's not, they're not perfect. The Thunderjaw that I got is based off of Hachiroku's Thunderjaw, which is based off sort of the scale of the tall neck. So because the tall neck was not really to scale either, this is all trying to be to scale to the Aloy figure and to the tall neck. So well, and I've got them all. They're all to scale as far as I can. Some of them are a little off. But this is also the last one. So I'm not going to go back and change anything. But so this is everybody, and it's not exactly to scale, but it's as scaly as I can get. The this guy's a little too big, right? He doesn't need to be that big. The cats, I think the 2 cats are pretty good scale. The Snapmaw is a little too big. He doesn't need to be as big as, he's probably needs to be about as big as the Bellowback, but I just like the way it looks, so I'm keeping it in like that. So yeah, you know, tried to do my best with how big they were. So there you go. But yeah, everything's based off of these 2 machines here. So this was obviously the biggest. Now, if I had a MOC where this was bigger, then yeah, then I can crank everything up a little bit. But given the constraints, yeah. So anyway, so this guy will fit in between one of those somewhere. So back to the tile story, because that's all I got going on right now. And I know it's late for you East Coasters, so I'll probably go till like 10:30, maybe a little longer. I know it was a little late, but anyway, I found what I was looking for. And I was a little bent out of shape because I had specifically made room in one of these drawers so I could get that bag of parts out of a baggie and actually put it in a drawer somewhere. Nope. I like these parts, but this doesn't need to be as long. So let's get rid of that. Raise all this up. So when I found it, I felt really dumb Because I was like, oh yeah, I put these here specifically. So they would be, there was like, I don't know why I didn't check the drawer. There was like those little boxes with 3 drawers in them. And they're all tiles, right? I've got like 1x2s, 2 different kinds of 1x4s, some inverted tiles, some corner tiles, and then the last drawer that I didn't check was the 1x3 tiles. I just didn't look there. I'm like, okay, well, I'm an idiot. Let's see. I don't necessarily need this last little bit of that stuff. But let's put a plate there to level it off a little bit. Boop. It literally was, because I mean, I'd gone through bags. So I even gone through, like, maybe they got dumped in, because I take loose parts with me to the lug meetings to use as like voting tokens. At some point they're not mine. At least I don't think. I was taking mine, and then I was just like, I think these are the lugs anyway. These lug pieces. Sometimes we'll break sets down and we'll have pieces. Sometimes we'll order from lug bulk things, and the lug will order some to have for the rest of the year, and we'll use those, kind of thing. So it's like, maybe I accidentally put that bag in here, and then maybe somebody thought it was part of the loot that they could take, so they took it. And then my brain was going, now I got to talk to people and have them tell, can you please bring this back? It's not your blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's terrible. Anyway, it all ended up being fine. So I'm going to do more of this stuff over here, just because it's a good look. What I might do, though, is do some of these slope. Wedge these guys instead, to give them a little bit of more of a... Actually... So yeah, so I really appreciate y'all sticking with it and pinging me on Discord to get me to get off my butt and get back in here. That was really weird. I have no idea what happened. I mean, I do know what happened. I lost track of time. Oh, I only want a 2 here. Just forgot where I was, man. Now let's do 3. Just see how this looks. It's not gonna be able to move a whole lot, but yeah, I won't be able to move much at all, actually. Happens to us old people. Oh my god, yeah. Speaking of old people, I signed up. I got an appointment for... Actually, it would be better if it were reversed. Got an appointment for a physical, because I haven't had a physical in ever. The last time I had a physical was when I was in high school, and I got one for sports, for playing soccer. So it's been a while. Oh yeah, and my ADD, my ADHD, attention. What did I call it last time? Beth told me what it was. Like attention focus, hyperactivity focus, hybrid focus, or whatever it is. Presenting. Um, gets to the point where all I want to do, and it's not that you can't focus, it's that you're addicted to switching tasks. Um, let's do a. So my brain wants to switch tasks all the time. What color is that? Dark bluish gray, dark bluish gray. All right. And I'm like, you know, switch task, switch task, switch task. But I'm like, I'll leave this here till later. I'll do this next. This is next. Then I'll come back to this. But then I'm like, so the ADHD plus the memory retention is like, oh God, I know there's like 5 things I needed to be working on. Now I can't remember. You know, it's that dread feeling of I forgot something. I know I forgot something, which didn't kick in this evening, apparently, when I was supposed to be streaming. This is why I don't like brackets necessarily, because of this gap. I think I can put 2 plates in here. I think it's wide enough for 2 plates. Let's try it. Plate, modify, no, wedge plate. Just to be safe, just to be fun. You have ADHD too? See, mine's undiagnosed. Okay, good. Perfect. Like 1 stud longer, but I think I'm going to allow it. Or I could put it in here. Ahaha. Look at that. That's pretty. Yeah, that looks great. Great, great, great. And then I can build up this back end with just putting plates in it and stuff. Or a brick, big old fat brick, just hanging out right in the middle of it. I think the problem with my ADHD attention presenting issue is that I'm 50, and at this point I'm like, do I need to do anything about this? I mean, it's got me where I am today. I have no complaints about my life so far. I don't think I'm hurting anybody. I don't think I'm hurting myself. I think I'm all right. I'm acutely new to the Ryzen thing. Just beat Zero Dawn yesterday and started Forbidden West. I am so envious of you and your ability or your fresh eyes on the game. I wish I could go back and play it again for the first time. It is literally my favorite game of all time. All right, so this has got to be, I think, raised up a little bit. I want to do a second one up here. So let's do 2 plates. Did you do well on it? Did you platinum it or anything? These come in this color? Yeah. There's some fun. Those slopes with the fins, these guys, they fit cool into these guys, I thought. Maybe I could make use of that somehow. Maybe it's not those guys. Maybe it's one of these. Maybe it's these. Yeah, those. This is such a nice connection. Like, you can tell it wasn't intentional because of the gap. But I mean, it's so pretty. I don't know. Maybe it was intentional. They both have these weird circled stud foundations on either side. Just got to do the new complete game and ultra hard new game achievements remaining, which I'll do after Forbidden West. Cool. I'm trying to remember if I went back. It's been a while. If I went back and did New Game Plus. I did. So I'm a big story fan. Like, I'm not a completionist. Once the story is done, I'll wander around and do some side quests and stuff. And especially with Zero Dawn, I just kind of rode around on a Strider or a Charger, just looking at stuff. Just like, I'm just gonna follow this trail and see what happens. See if I run into anything. You know, if I've not uncovered part of the map or something. But like, in terms of, oh, you got to go to all the hunting grounds and get all the. I didn't do the hunting grounds. I didn't get all the medals for the hunting grounds. And Forbidden West is even worse. It's like, there's gauntlet runs. There's a chess game you can play. There's fighting pits, and I'm like, I don't necessarily know that I want to do all that. This would have been a good look to be sideways on the side somewhere. Maybe up here. Keep that in mind, in the back of the mind over here. I still think this needs to be up here, though. Oh, I'm not going to give away any of the story stuff. These are just like the mini games in the game. It's like me saying, hey, you get to play Gwent in Witcher. It's like, it's just part of the smaller game. But I will not talk about Forbidden West anymore, other than, yes, I will do a Frostclaw eventually. So that's cool there. This is right above the shoulder. Need to start doing these canisters. Not going to get a good look at that at all. Am I? That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. I got 2 of those running right now. That's great. I can't really tell. This may be an all right one. Let's see if that helps. All right, so they look like vents. So I'm used to seeing. Okay, so it looks like a big couple wedge plates with some vents underneath it. So what we can probably do is carry this down here. Let's do, and then the vents will go on top of this joint piece. So that should be all right. Yeah, and then you get to play Frozen Wilds before you do Frozen Wilds, and then Forbidden West, and then Burning Shores. So you got quite a bit to go. And don't sleep on Frozen Wilds. It was really good. I mean, it's short and the story's a little different, but I found it quite entertaining. Oh, did Frozen Wilds? Okay. Cool. I think I want that a little higher. This also needs to be. Let's do this in black. And those, I think, need to be a little higher too. I know that fits really well right there. Oh, that's right. We were finishing up here last time. Got a little carried away. Did I do a brick here? My only regret is now I have to find other games to play that make me feel the same way this game did, and it's really hard to find. I know there's other great games out there, and I've played some other good games, but I just feel like this one was really, really something special. Yeah, I've seen Monster Hunter, and Johnny's been talking up Ark quite a bit. I'm a big fan of really big open world with lots of story. So I'm wondering if I need to play like what's the samurai one, Ghost of. I'm not even going to try to say the name. Ghost of. Let's look it up because I'm gonna murder it. PS4 Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if I know Monster Hunter actually. I know the title. I mean, I recognize the title. Is it on PC or can I play it on PlayStation? Because I only have PlayStation. Oh yeah, PS4. Okay. I'll look into it. Yeah, Johnny mentioned this at the top of the stream. I was busy playing Diablo. I'm waiting for the new season. So I started later than everybody else did. So I'm only playing Season of the Blood right now. And it's fun. I want to see what happens when a new season starts up. I got a buddy who's excited for it to start up, so we're gonna play together a little bit because he and a couple of other my like in real life friends have started a guild, but they barely play anymore. Let's just do another. Slope. Where's my slopes? There's a cutout slope. That'd be perfect right there. And then we'll just kind of see what goes in the middle there. Doesn't even really have to be anything. Cool. Save. Oh, I was gonna do something with this. Not modified, although, yeah, that's a good piece. In black. But I think once I'm done with that, a lot of people are playing Baldur's Gate, which I know I'm behind on Baldur's Gate too. So I may try to get into that. I don't know. We'll see. I need to not be playing games. I need to be doing this and sorting and stuff like that. So, all right, that's pretty good. All right, so this area has got... I'm going to raise this guy up by 1. And then raise this guy up again by... Actually, we're going to do some brackets. To line up with the other brackets. And then we're going to put... Oh, this is where... Okay. So this is where the vents come in. Just watch the Monster Hunter 3 intro video. Okay, I will. I generally have time during my work day that I can do research on stuff like that. So this area is going to be a little thin. This area is going to be a little thin just because it's got the... Doesn't look too bad from the side. From the top, it's not too bad. But just so it can move a little bit, it's got a little bit of skinniness there, but I think it'll be fine. I think I want to do... Can I make that an orange brick? And then what about an orange plate? Just to give it some orangeness, because it's got these little cracks of orange coming through here. So if this is going to be now the vents, what am I going to do for vents? So these are... Can't really tell from there. Can't tell from there. Hot orange. Trans orange. Trans yellow. Trans yellow. What did I make these? These are trans orange. So we're going to do trans orange to be... Because they match this. So to match that, we'll do trans orange. So there's 3 of them. And I think the best way to do 3 of a thing would be to do a snot brick, a 1x4 snot brick, or no, not a snot brick, a Technic brick. Now that I think about it, that's what I should have done. Holy jumping. That's what I should have done. Where is it? Right here. Right here. Instead of this. Huh. This makes a little more sense. All right, I'm gonna sidetrack for a second because this thing bothered me so much. I don't not like this, but I also am not super happy with it. So if I put this here, the spacing's a little bit... I don't know why I didn't think of this. Yeah, that spacing's a lot better. Now I can do 3 of something and not have to worry about it running into each other as much. Now the question is figuring out what goes there. These robot arms were fine, but I'd like something else a little more substantial. And if I put a pin in here, it's going to be loose. So I don't want to put a pin in here, which means it has to be a stud facing in. So let's think about this. My first thought is teeth, tooth. These things can kind of stick in like that. It's not really spaced that well. Be white. Okay, so that's an option. I always go back to the utensils. Utensil. But very few new utensils have like a stud on them. There's a socket wrench, I think, that does. I feel like the old school, like these do. But they have it on this weird, oh, not that one apparently, this side. Huh, that's fun. It's way too big, but that's fun. So there's also news, speaking of video games, there's also news about that video game, that Star Wars game. Can't remember what it was going to be called, but it was, you were the girl scavenger or scrounger. You weren't a bounty hunter, smuggler kind of person, and you had like a you had an old Clone Wars commando droid as your sidekick, and then you had like a little animal with you. And Old Republic was great. Knights of the Old Republic was good. Any Old Republic story was great. Yeah, the demo looked really good because you were of this new one, but I can't remember if it just got pushed back or if it got canceled. I'm sure they 1313'd this. But the demo was pretty good in that, like, you met somebody in a bar and you talked to them about some stuff, and then it seamlessly, like, it didn't cut screen you to walking out of the bar. Like, your conversation was done, it didn't go very well, so you went back outside and you got onto your speeder, and then you got chased by some people, and you sped through an area of the spaceport, and then you got off, and then you shot at him a little bit, and then you got on your ship and blasted off and went into space, and were still being shot at. So it felt a little like if you integrated, because there really isn't a go into space and shoot stuff that isn't like Lego Star Wars. So this felt a little like No Man's Sky with Star Wars, right? Where the space travel's as seamless as the land-based stuff. I don't think the story was kind of there yet. Like, there wasn't really anything to grip me for the story, but the gameplay looked good. The demo of the gameplay. This shape right here, these three shapes are just bothering me. Because they're not all the same. They're similar, but like these two pieces are the same, but then this thing adds to it. So you think these two are the same, but this is longer. I don't know. Which is why I went with this. But I think I want it to be flatter, but I don't know how to make it flatter. All right, come back to it. Let's come back to it. Let's see if we can figure out. So, same brick up here. And that'll give us absolutely no ability to turn that. So, not that brick. So we'll do 3x3 plate. Okay, this has 3 studs on it, which means I should be able to push 3 vents out here of some kind. I just don't know what yet. It looks like they stick out a little bit, so I could do... I kind of want to find out... Got trans orange in here. I don't know why this isn't... So this is the one problem I have with like grouping things, is suddenly none of these colors exist in your content. Oh, well, it exists there. Why doesn't it exist over here? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was wrong. Look at that. I missed the start of my stream and I was wrong about something. Hide unavailable parts. All right, so this is going to take a second because it might break the computer. It doesn't like having to churn through. I don't know how many parts are in Bricklink. 300,000? I have no idea. I'm making it up. Yeah, I was really hoping to do more tonight. It's almost 10:30 as it is, so... Surprised Johnny's still on. Let's see. Bruins beat up on the Avs tonight. I didn't see what the final score was, but about 2 minutes to go, it was 4-2. The Avs didn't look bad, but they didn't look great. They looked slightly off. And it was kind of frustrating. The Bruins looked great. The Bruins looked really good. All right, so if I attach fangs, teeth come in that color. I mean, if I could get them to be twisted slightly. What else comes in that color, yo? A lot of splats, a lot of gems, a lot of old Rockbreaker rocks. Wheels for some reason. I always found that hilarious. Canopies, a fish, a snake. You get some minifig arms come in trans orange. That's pretty cool. That's about it. All right. I was hoping for a little more, but I'll take it. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. This is super easy. I'm not even gonna bother. This is exactly the size and shape. I want it just kind of sticking out. Yeah, we'll just do this. You're up till 2 a.m. because you can't fall asleep. Oh, that makes me sad. I'm not even going to say, you know what you should try? Because that's not the way you do things with people who have issues that they are having issues with. So I'm going to turn this back off now. And I'm going to turn the color back to, I think gray is what we're doing. Yeah, I realize that when people say, I have problems doing this, the first inclination is to go, the first inclination is to become a monk and leave the situation. But every dark tunnel has a light of hope, so don't hang yourself with a celibate rope. The movie's showing, so you're going. Gonna get dinged about singing a song. The first inclination, the first impulse is to say, well, you know what works for me, or you know what you should try, as though these things haven't occurred to the people who are having the issue. You know what? You're right. I've never tried counting sheep. I've never tried warm milk. I haven't tried, and I've learned this with Beth. I've just got to shut up about it. She's narcolepsy, and I'm always like, you should hang up your phone. Not hang up your phone. My goodness. How old am I? You really need to put your phone down. stop playing games. It's 11:30 at night. Put your phone away. She goes, I know. And then she won't do it. That's not my call to make. Are these going to stick out far enough? Because they look like they stick way out. So if we did modified brick, what was I doing? The ADD keeps my mind on overdrive most of the time. I've mentioned this before. I put mine to use because I'm the same way. I read, but sometimes reading, like I'll read until I get like, I start making up stories as I'm reading, or I'll start like fighting to stay awake. And I'm like, if I can close the book, put it down, and turn off the light right when that's happening, I'm out, right? Bar round plate. But if like any point in there something disturbs that, then I'm like, well, nope, got to start over. Which way is this pointing? That way. Okay, so I wish that make both of these black. I also have been able to kind of tell my brain to start working on some model ideas, like how to solve problems in something that I'm working on studio wise. All right, can we flatten that out? Because I want to be able to. I wonder if that'll work across 3. Nope. I think if I rotated them right, it might. Yeah, I'll do a thing where I'm like, I just do this, and the dog will go from the foot of the bed to crawl up and lay on my head, or want to get under the covers, or come out from under the covers, or Beth will roll over. It's like any little jostling. I'm like, nope, now I'm awake. You know, I can feel my heart start beating and my brain starts going, watch, here you go, you're falling asleep, and I'm like, nope, oh, okay. All right, I think this is going to be too complicated. So I'm going to get rid of all these. And I'm just going to put this on there. That's still going to be black. I'm going to copy it and put it over here. I'm going to put it in here, though, so it nuzzles against that. Modified brick. But yeah, I also put my brain to work a little bit and say, all right, try to figure out, because something like a Lego model is not like work. It's not, what am I going to do about my job tomorrow? Or what am I going to do about this test that I have to take tomorrow? It's very like low stakes, low pressure. If I don't figure it out that night, I play with it all day the next day, and then I figure it out then. It's not like it's a big deal, right? So little, like almost trivial things, like kind of figuring out a story to write. Like if you've been kicking around the idea to write a novel, you're like, all right, let's plan this out a little bit. Let's, what kind of, where do I want to end? Where do I want to end the story? And work backwards. And before you know it, you're out. Let's see. Where is my big one? There it is. So between that and that, I kind of want to just do something like, but that doesn't work for everybody. Whatever works for us individually, you know. Some people absolutely can't fall asleep, and then unless they've got meds. Wait. This looks like there's also stuff on the back. Maybe a little tile. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now the current thing that I'm doing is not the models anymore, but the landscape, like how I'm gonna, you know, what kind of things can I build in the landscape to put these guys in. Um, you know, what kind of trees can I put in and how am I going to make those trees? And I think I've settled on like 4x8 base plates, which is going to be freaking huge. And I don't know that I'm going to get that done in time, but it's nice to go like, all right, well, what, you know, I can put the coastline part of it here and I can make this side of it kind of red rocks looking thing with some, you know, Garden of the Gods thing, and this will be more like gray mountains with some snow on the top, and this is all desert, and then like I'm out. Like it doesn't even take that long. Well, that's gonna be the problem too. Is I had I kind of took that gallery. Um, I don't think I saved it, but I kind of took that gallery of them all, and I kind of spread them out a little bit, and I was like, all right, I'd like the tall neck. There's seven, maybe fewer. I think it's seven, depending on the game. There's a handful of tall necks throughout the game, and the tall necks are in areas where it's kind of. I like the tall necks. They're the reason I bought the game in the first place. They're very cool looking. There's no other real animal machine thing in a video game that I can think of that just made me go, "That's insane," and made me want to make a purchase. Right? Very unique, you know. Brachiosaurus with an enterprise head, but you know the way it just kind of lumbered, and you know it was huge, and I was like, wow. Turns out by the time you actually get to one, what they do is like you have to figure out how to get on top of its head, and then it's like a Fog of War release. It like I think there's another mechanic, there's another instance of this thing in a different game where you find a certain area and it kind of opens up the map for you. Most games are like that have maps. You get to an area and suddenly goes, hey, look at this area now, right? But this is kind of a fun mechanic because they're very tall and you can't just run up to the side of it and grab onto something and start climbing. You have to like find, they just walk in a loop and you have to find a high enough point to like jump on part of it and then climb up. And then you use your spear and kind of reprogram it and it releases, it kind of gives you your focus, the thing on the side of your head, information about the area. But by the time you actually find these things, you've kind of opened up that whole area anyway. So it's kind of like, all right. They're still very cool. I think I would rather do. Nope. Just get rid of one. I was going somewhere with that. So anyway, they appear in certain areas. They're near ruins, they're out in a desert, some are in water, some are just walking around kind of in some snow. They're kind of all over the place. So if you only have one, you've got to pick, all right, where on my scenery is it going to go? Some things you don't like. The first time you run into a thunderjaw, it's kind of in a deserty area first time you run into a storm bird, it's kind of in a deserty area. So those you can, but a storm bird's in the sky, so you can kind of put it anywhere. But you also find one in a snowy area. You also find a thunderjaw like next to a lake. You know, so there's snapjaws in your water. That's kind of it. You find a lot of red eye watchers or watchers. You find those in caravans with the shell walkers, because the shell walkers are basically there's resource gathering ones and there's combat machines, right? Resource machines and combat machines. The resource machines dig into the earth, they refine what they dig up, and then they create energy and stuff out of those, and then they store those. And then the shell walkers come up and say, whatever you guys got, we're going to take it back to these other areas. And so there's these caravans, and caravans like 2 or 3, but they always have like watchers with them. And watchers are kind of near a lot of groups of animals. It'd be better if I could get 4 or 5 chargers or 4 or 5 not grazers, lance horns, right? No, there's grazer. Lance horns, the pack ones to be together, but it's like I'm gonna be hard pressed just to get one of each. Glinthawks, there's 3 or 4 together all the time. Trying to think of what else. The scroungers, there's usually 3 or 4 or 5. They're a little spread out, but they're kind of in their own area. So they don't really exist only in certain areas. Like a frost claw from not Forbidden West, Frozen Wilds really only exists up in the mountains. There's also there's like a wolf creature in Frozen Wilds too that is it's called a Scorcher, and it only exists in like 1 or 2 locations, and it's snowy because everything up there is snowy. But there's also 2 types of these giant bear things. There's the Frost Claw and the Fire Claw, and they're both in the snow. So it's like, so yeah, I'm trying to just spread them out, and then just give it different biomes in the scenery. So there's like water, kind of foresty, kind of deserty, kind of mountainous, and that's going to be the best I can do, really. If I'm lucky enough to get it done. It's at this point I wish I had I don't know if this will work or not. Slope. So yeah, Gloppy Gale, I'm glad you're playing it. Glad to find somebody else who's playing the game. It's a great game. I say it deserves more accolades, but I mean, I feel like it's gotten plenty of recognition. I think it's got its due. I really like it a lot. Are there 1x4 in that color? No. Okay. 1x2 in that color? Yeah. Someday I'll play it. Let's see. Where's the big one? Let's put a... It's a bit big. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's go till 11. Give me the full hour and a half. Make me feel like I actually did something. For those clinging on to the Eastern time zone, feel free to bounce. I completely get it. I don't have anything going on. We've already established that Missy will be up late. Is that it? Okay, that should be it. That's the same across the sides. Put this one over here. Let's see. Let's put, since I can't really ever see what's on top of this tail, you can see what's under it. You can kind of see that's its paw. Its tail's hidden behind the smoke there. That's buried. Half the time this dude is buried. Like you can't see what's going on. So let's make some guesses, shall we? Let's do oh man, I hope I didn't screw that up. Plate modified. It's hard to really tell what's up there. Or is it tile? Yeah. 2x3 plate. In black. Have you played Dead Cells? If not, I highly recommend it. Let's look that up real quick. Dead Cells. I don't think so. So if it's a Steam game, I haven't. My computer will not play a game. Switch. I don't have a Switch. Looks fun. The character looks like there's a character. Oh, all platforms. All right. There's a character named. Oh, that looks fun. I'll check it out. Character in the X-Men universe named Chamber that I really liked, and he's just this dude who has like not a black hole, but like an energy thing kind of in his chest, and it's been like eating away at his body. And he basically can use it to like shoot energy beams at people, or like, you know, kind of energy blasts. But the more he uses it, the more it kind of eats away at him. So when you meet him, he's got like this scarf wrapped around his mouth, like from his nose down, and kind of covers his whole chest, like a jacket with a big, like a gaiter right around his face and neck. And then later you kind of see that it just like it's mostly eaten away at his face and like his whole, and you're like, oh god, it's so creepy. That's one of my favorites. I feel like this could be raised one more. What is that? Plate 2x3. Could we do a 2x4? And then a 1x2. I will watch all the trailers. I'm glad I have this in the chat because then I can. I'm not going to remember any of this tomorrow. But I'll be like, I was supposed to watch some game trailers. What was it? My least favorite machines are those weasel watchers that are the first ones you see in Forbidden West. Oh, the little burrowers. Yeah. I think my least favorite, because they're so hard for me, are... I don't like long legs very much. They seem very hard to kill and very, like, I just can't seem to hit their weak spots. I also don't like I'd rather fight a Thunderjaw than most of the kind of mid-ranged clamber clamber something. I want to say Clamberjaw. They're just aesthetically unpleasing. They are just kind of like wormy little, nothing really to them. I have to figure out how to make those next when I get to that game. The leap lashers are like really, really hard for me. Because there's usually 3 or 4 and they have this dampening field that affects your focus. So you're not able to actually target anything. You're just shooting at them and hope you hit something. So you can never really get their weak spot. I mean, even if you hit one of them, it can knock that jammer off. And while that creature's dead and you're finding the other ones, that jammer's still going. And you're like, ugh. So, and they like move really weird and they got this like tail that like whips around and you're like, ah. Yeah, snap maws are a problem. A lot of animals anymore, if I can fight them from a distance, just run in a big circle. Run and slide, run and slide, run and slide. All the better. I think I want to do... do that. Yeah, that was fine. I kind of just want to leave it like that. Like sometimes I don't like leaving studs on there, but I mean, I think I maybe want to put like a gray. It's so hard to tell because this could be dark gray, it could be black. But given everything else, like all the other machines, this is kind of how they've all been built, like a dark gray mixed with black, just kind of wherever it feels like it. Like I think these, it also depends on the part type and how much they are. Like this might be cheaper black. Now that I think about it. But it just kind of depends, you know, like this is probably more dark gray than black. I don't know. If I had to say what my favorite machine is, don't know that I have a favorite machine. I'm trying to think. I really like the corruptors, but I think those are like because they don't look like anything else. They don't look like another animal. They're kind of like a crab, spider, arachnid, scorpion kind of thing. They look more like the alien queen than I think most terrestrial animals. You know what? Let's do a round brick. I think it's round brick. Maybe it's curved slope. Yeah, these guys. Ooh. Is that too big? That's pretty cool looking. Coming black. Where are you? I said you coming black. What about dark gray? Yes. Cool. I think that tail's done. I think that's pretty good. It's not quite as thick or connected as I want it to be, but... All right, so... Yeah, they do. And the queen alien, especially with like that big sort of things behind it. Alien queen. So here's your alien queen. Right? And here's your Horizon Zero Dawn Corruptor. I mean, it's not exactly, but it's pretty close. Big old head, spiky tail. She has 6 legs. Oh, look, that's a Lego build too. That's nice. Oh my goodness. So this is not to scale. This is not to minifig scale. It's way big. But that's very, very nice. Nice little Photoshop for the reflection there. That's really slick. Kind of jealous. There's another one. Nope, that's a 3D model. That's the Lego one again. There's another Lego one. Some people getting some stuff done. Oh, no, wait. That's not Lego. Is that Mega Bloks? Ah. Pretty slick. I think that's a different one. That's another Corruptor in Lego. Where's mine? I know it's in here. I know I made it. Huh. I'd honestly be surprised if it showed up. Anyway, yeah, Alien Queen. Looks like the Alien Queen. All right, so some things need to happen here. This all looks good. Just got a couple minutes left. I need to figure out how I'm going to do this little rib cage area. But also, like, the tail's good, the arm's good, the back's good, the top is good, the head's good. This little neck sack is frustrating as heck. 2 other things need to happen. This chain section needs to be repeated under here. It connects from the back of the jaw to the front of these tanks. If you can see this or not, there's a jaw thing in there. It connects vaguely under the jaw here and then connects to the front of these blaze tanks right here. So got to do that. So this whole underside's going to have to be, I left that off. See, I started doing it. It's got to be shored up pretty well. And I'm not convinced the big Lego teeth. These guys. Like that. So I kind of want something that is rounded so I can kind of angle them a little bit. But I just don't know what that is. I don't know what part that is. What I need is... I need this plate, round plate. Like this. But I only need one stud. I only want it to have one stud on it. So then I can kind of turn it. Because it looks like it would be this like weird shaped thing. It's like a little squiggly thing. There's other teeth. Big Lego teeth. These? I don't know where you meant. I don't know if you meant here or where else we're going. These come in white. There's these big teeth. Those can be white. Turn this way. That's even bigger. That's even bigger. That wouldn't be too bad. And then I can have the last one be this. And they're really different shapes. And it's also 3 different ways. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's 3 different ways to attach it too. So this would just go right in to the hole, right? This one you'd have to have a clip of some kind come out. Probably a claw with a half pin. So you'd have this and then a Technic. That guy. Like that. And then this guy. And then he's too low. And then this guy, you'd have to have... It would still have to be a half pin. But then you could do 2L bar. Whoops. Did that not go in all the way? That has to come all the way out. So, not a bad look. For lack of a better... yeah, no. It also kind of fills out into the under kind of arm area a little bit. That's kind of nice. It's not... it's not bad. It's not great. I literally need just like a... the problem is I want to put a half pin in there to make to give it a stud, right? But What was I thinking? That pushes everything out, and half pins are loose. So if like you wanted to angle it slightly, you can't really do it because half pins tend to be a little loose. So whatever you push up would like slide down eventually. So not terrible, but not ideal. All right, I'm going to save it. So here's what's going to happen. Is this the last time you're going to see this on stream? I'm going to work on it off stream and just finish it. And whatever happens, happens. You know, we'll get the color changes for the eyes included in the pieces. Did I keep those? No. So I'll include these. Yeah, so we'll need to include all these. And then red. So this will need to be... Oh, that's why. Because I think it was a group. Did it not allow me to... Yeah, because that's part of a group. All right. So this also need to be light blue. Trans light blue. Cool. So those are for the eyes. Right? All right. Yeah, so this is as good as it's gonna. I think it turned out okay. It's not perfect, but it's got some good points in it. I like the chain attachment here was a good thing that a friend of mine came up with. We had a lot of good suggestions over the last month or so from the chat about pieces to use. I'm not sold on this cage thing for its arm, but I think it looks pretty good. Tail looks good. Head looks good. I like the way the gears looked. And then I think, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this head. I want it to be able to move, but without like Lego having sort of big like Kevlar nanocarbon material that can be these big sacks under things. It's hard to like replicate this kind of thing with the parts available and have it move, you know. So as it is, this moves, you know, the head moves side to side, right? I think there's parts of it that aren't attached, so it doesn't move very well. And then it should move up and down a little bit, but I'm not really sold on that. So anyway, yeah, we'll shore up some of this stuff under here. We'll attach the chains, and then we'll just go from there. So this will be it for this thing. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Sorry again about the late start, but thanks for Gloopy Gale. Thanks for being here and keeping us company. Missy and Johnny, as always, good to see you. Reminder that International Lego Day is coming up, and our friend Johnny here is going to do a world record attempt at assembling the Millennium Falcon. So make sure to check out his channel, and this will be the 27th, 28th, 20th, 29th, whatever that weekend is, Saturday and Sunday. He'll be doing a live stream. He won't really be chatting with anybody, but it'll be recording while he's doing it. So yeah. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Saturday 27th, 10 a.m. That's Eastern. So make sure if you're in a different time zone to check it out. Set a reminder. Go to his channel, subscribe, set a reminder. Yeah. After this, We'll be back to microfighter designs, building some sets. We'll have to see what happens, but thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later.